All right, we're going to complete the table using this linear equation. Here's our table over here, and they're asking us three things, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to graph. So first thing we need to do is plug in a 0, and that is in the x column, so we're going to plug in a 0 for x. So we will rewrite the equation here, y equals -1/9 x minus 3, but instead of the x, we are plugging in a 0. So now we have y equals, anything times 0 is just 0, so this whole term is 0. -1/9 times 0 is 0, and then 0 minus 3 is -3. So that's our answer for the first part. Put in a -3. And you see we have an ordered pair now. 0, -3 that we can put on a graph. Let's go ahead and plug in the -18. And we're going to plug that in for x. And then we're going to find out what the y value is. So y equals -1/9 x minus 3. And instead of x, we're going to plug in a -18. -18. So y equals, now we have -1/9 times -18. I'm going to get my calculator for this. -1 ABC9 times -18, and that equals 2. So 2 minus 3, and 2 minus 3 is -1. So when x is -18, y is -1. So this is another ordered pair I have right here. And let's go ahead and find the last part on this table. And this part, they want to know what is the x value when you plug in a 0 for the y. So this one might require a little more solving. Y equals -1/9 x minus 3. Y equals -1/9 x minus 3. But now instead of a y, we're plugging in a 0. Okay, that's this 0 for y. All right, so now I need to solve for x. Well, here's my grumpy old x over here wants to be all by himself. So in order to get that x by itself, first thing I'm going to do is add 3 to both sides. That way I won't have that constant out there. 0 plus 3 is 3. Drop down my equals, and drop down my -1/9 and my x. Now one more step to get this grumpy old x by himself. He wants to be all by himself. He's got a -1/9 that is multiplying times that x. So to get rid of that, I am going to divide both sides by -1/9. Divide by -1/9. So -1/9 divided by -1/9, those both turn into a 1x. And then 3 divided by -1/9, I'm going to pick up my calculator. 3 divided by -1/9 is -27. So if you have a calculator, you can do this division right here. Without a calculator, that would be tough. And from here, you'd probably want to multiply times the reciprocal. But we have a calculator. So x is -27. So x is a -27 when y is 0. But now we need to graph it, okay? Or they're going to give us a few different graphs, and we are going to pick the correct graph. So let me make a graph. All right, so I moved everything around to make some space. I made a graph over here. And now I know I'm going to need to go to numbers close to 30. So I'm showing hash marks of 10. Let's go ahead and graph my first point. My first ordered pair is 0, -3. Means 0 in the x direction and down 1, 2, 3. So right here, here's 0, -3. My next point is -18 and -1. So I'm going to go back to -18, and then I'm going to go down to -1. So that's going to be about somewhere about right here. And then my last point is -27 and 0. So I'm going to go back 27 and then 0 up or down. So that's going to be about right here. All right, and then to graph a line that goes through it, there we go. There's the line. All right, so I have completed the table and graphed this linear equation.